The future of more than 24 lakh students hangs in the balance as controversy surrounds the results of the NEET-UG 2024 medical entrance exam. The exam was held on the 5th of May, the results were declared nearly 10 days before time, and the uproar refuses to die down. The controversy began after mark sheets of some successful candidates surfaced on social media. What stood out was the fact that a record 67 candidates secured the top rank with a perfect score of 720 out of 720. Of these, around 6 candidates had appeared for the exam from the same centre. Some students claimed that marks were randomly reduced or increased for several candidates. There were also allegations of paper leak. Confirming the worst fears of students, the Economic Offences Unit of Bihar Police said that question papers and answers for NEET-UG were provided to 35 aspirants before the May 5th exam. 13 individuals have been arrested so far in connection with the case. As the controversy blew up, the National Testing Agency added fuel to fire. NTA said the rise in the number of top scorers reflects an increase in the competitiveness of the exam and the improvement in performance standards. According to officials, grace marks were awarded to 1,563 candidates to compensate for the loss of time, in line with the Supreme Court approved formula. Out of the 67 candidates who got 720 out of 720, 44 are on account of the revision in one answer key of physics, and 6 are on account of compensatory marks for loss of time. This adjustment aimed to address inconsistencies in NCERT textbooks, ensuring that candidates were not disadvantaged by factual discrepancies. As the uproar grew over grace marks, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan made further clarifications. He said that aspirants at 6 centres in Meghalaya, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, Surat and Chandigarh were given the wrong set of papers. These students, 1,563 in all, claimed that they did not get the full 3 hours and 20 minutes to write the exam due to administrative reasons, including the distribution of the wrong question paper, torn OMR sheets, or a delay in the distribution of OMR sheets. A committee formed by the NTA investigated the matter and came up with the formula devised and adopted by the Apex Court in a 2018 judgment to address the loss of time faced by candidates. The loss of time was ascertained and such candidates were compensated with grace marks. Dharmendra Pradhan, however, denied allegations of a paper leak. Three petitions were filed seeking the cancellation of the NEET-UG 2024 test and the conduct of a retest. One of the petitioners was Alakh Pandey, CEO of Physicswala. He argued that the NTA's decision to award grace marks was arbitrary. The second petition was filed by members of the Students' Islamic Organization. They requested the re-examination of NEET and said marks as high as 718 and 719 out of 720 were statistically impossible. The third petition was filed by a NEET candidate challenging the award of grace marks as compensation for alleged loss of time during the exam. He argued that the normalization formula to award grace marks was unfair. The Supreme Court has decided not to stop the admissions counselling process. The centre has told the court that it will conduct a retest for 1,563 students who were given grace marks. The re-examination is to be held on the 23rd of June and the results will be out on the 30th. If any of the candidates opt out of the retest, their previous marks without the grace marks will be used for the results. But the row has taken a political turn. Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party have been demanding a Supreme Court-monitored probe into the NEET exam. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said the trends from the latest NEET results have once again vindicated DMK's stand of opposing the exam. So if the politicians are still seeing red, will lakhs of students be satisfied with a retest for a few?